Hello and welcome to Quantum Worth Healing. This is the online course series, Personal and Spiritual Transformation. And the first course is called Self-Assessment and the Law of Attraction. And this is the part on patterns. So here we are. We'll go directly to the article, and then we'll talk about the assignment after we review the article together. So as a reminder, there's many different articles, and this is just the first article in the series called Patterns and Triggers. So if you want to read more, just go up here where it says Blog Categories. You can click it, go to Patterns and Triggers, and read the entire series. I would highly recommend that. But we're just going to read this particular article for now. Patterns. A little girl hides in her room, trying to be invisible, hoping to avoid her mother's harsh demeanor. Her mother, a single mom, trying to raise children in a community that treats her and all of her children as if they are unworthy. A poor family with a father who fell from grace and is entangled with the devil. Her mother trying to make sure her father's evil ways do not somehow seep into her children. Her mother is strict and quick to use corporal punishment, a firm believer in spare the rod spoils the child, a stern woman, a survivor of an overbearing father, of secret abuse, a victim of a bad husband. The little girl dares not cry out for what she needs. Mama, I am here. See me. Love me, Mama. She is the youngest of 13 children. 3 went to God before they were born. She sometimes wishes she went to God too. Her mother shows little warmth to her children except for one. Why she chooses one, and why she chooses her sister that is 5 years older than her, is a mystery to the little girl, and likely a mystery to the mother. The little girl learns to push her feelings of inadequacy down, hiding them just as she hides from her mother's disapproval. The little girl grows into a woman. She has 2 children. She marries a man who disapproves of her, a good man, but his ideas of what she should be are different from what she wants to be. A depression that was planted as a child seeds and spreads into her life, threatening to drag her down into a deep abyss of loneliness, worthlessness, hopelessness. She finds the strength to defy her husband and eventually divorce him. She continues to find men who treat her without worth. She sinks deeper into the abyssal depression, without realizing it, without meaning to, without remembering. She treats her oldest child different from her youngest child. He is full of life, always on the go, always demanding attention. She often shuts herself up in her room, locking the door, sleeping or hiding from the disapproving actions of her oldest son. The depression, like an invasive creature from deep space trying to suck her into a black hole, devour her, stretch her, continues to pull her down. Her oldest son learns not to cry out, doesn't know how to cry. Mama, I am here. See me. Love me. Love me, Mama. Patterns. So this is actually a true story, and this is actually a true pattern in a family, my family, and it's rather sad, but it is getting better, I'd like to say. So let's go back to the patterns, or back to the assignment. And the assignment is identify 3 negative patterns your family exhibits. Examples could include substance abuse, depression, physical or sexual abuse, judgmental, being judged, emotionally unavailable, etc. And remember, as you're describing these, don't get the feeling there's something wrong with you or there's something wrong with your family. All families have negative patterns. All families. And they tend to be passed down just from the story. If you it's not unusual for us to take what our treatment and apply it right to our children, because we don't realize that we have these unconscious patterns kind of built in, hardwired into our brain already, and they're unconscious. So we need to, part of this process, and we'll get into later on in the courses, is to get rid of this, to break these patterns, reprogram these unconscious behaviors. So we go ahead and identify those, and I will, and as usual, I will go ahead and, after we're finished with this, I'll add the topics in and just hit reply and put your answers. The next part is identify 3 negative patterns listed by other students that you can relate to and why you can relate to them. Self-explanatory. So if you're reading something from another student, and remember, it doesn't have to be exactly the same, it just has to be carrying the same kind of negative pattern, so that one might be someone who's coming from a physically abusive background and they withdraw from people. Another one may be they come from a background where they're just ignored and they also withdraw from people. So you can have 2 very different backgrounds or experiences or traumatic events and still adopt the same, basically the same patterns. And so go ahead and do that. And then the last one is identify 1 positive pattern your family exhibits. And examples could include emotionally available, free show of expression of love, encouraging, non-judgmental, accepting. And from the story we just read, I can add that we have a lot of positive patterns within our family. Our family tends to be judgmental. However, they're also very extremely loving. When someone needs something, it's a large family, and the family members come together and they are there for each other. And the encouragement I received as a child that I could do anything and be anything I wanted to be, although it was kind of in contrary to the feelings of feeling not good enough, were actually extremely helpful for me. And I've passed down those, not just to my children, but to all children I'm in contact with, that encouragement that you can be whatever you want to be, and then also that you deserve it. And while I didn't get a lot of feelings that I deserved it, I did get a lot of, I did hear it, not just from my mother, but from other people in my life when I was a child. And so look for those positive patterns. Another very positive pattern my family has is honesty. They're extremely honest, to the point of being hurtful sometimes, but they are honest, and you can expect that when you ask a question and they answer, it's going to be an honest answer. So I would call that a very positive pattern. So go to it, and as usual, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email at Christopher@quantumworthhealing.com. I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you for doing the course, and much love to you. Bye-bye.